Flash number 61, Joshua Williamson writing, Christian Duce on the art. So we've moved away from Rafa Sandoval, that's the one, and we're on to Duce, who I think for the most part fits Flash better.
Yeah.
Except I don't like, and I'm going to pull the Connor here, I don't like the way he draws Flash's wings on his helmet.
Oh, yeah. That's still a complaint, but I will take the stupid long wings over the stupid muscly, huge Flash.
Do you know what? I don't necessarily disagree that I don't want the wings as big as that, but there is a page in this where the wings look really sticky out to me. It's a page with him and standing next to, I think, Forza.
Yeah.
And I'll be for some reason on that panel, it just, to me, I was like, you know what, this feels like an old school ridiculous winged Flash. I'm kind of into it.
There's towards the end when Fezza goes big.
Yes.
It's the panel that reveals that she's that big. Look at those wings. Look at them. They are sticking out to the goddamn ceiling of that cave.
So to pull a Connor, I got very distracted by those every time I was on the page, and it made me a little bit grumpy and not enjoy this issue as much. Even though when I look back at it, I'm like, I enjoyed most of what I read.
I think as a testament here to how much I'm enjoying Williamson's Flash Front is that I finished this the first time and I was like, oh, that was a weaker issue, and then I skimmed through it again. I was skimming through most of the books before we started, and I was like, oh, well, this is actually still really good. Like, I still enjoyed this quite a lot. I'm enjoying what it's doing with the story. It just wasn't a standout, and that's okay.
No.
Because
I definitely like this more than the last few issues.
I like that Commander Cold and Detective Burns are actually getting on in Barry's couch when he calls.
I love that she's like, why do you live in Alan's apartment? What's going on here?
Well, all I gotta say is he's my cousin I'm from out of town. I'm waiting to get on my feet. It's an easy answer, but I do love her going because I love how he kicks down the picture as if he doesn't want them looking at what they're about to do.
Yeah.
So no, they deal with the Forza thing. She's going to kill the bad guy, the corrupt cop, and Barry's like, no, you can't kill, yada yada. She hulks out, and it's cool. But before that, she uses her gravity powers for the first time to sort of dismantle the situation. Barry then has to shock her to get her to shrink back down to size, and ultimately she's like, no, he's like, you can't kill, and it's actually her mum or whoever who runs in and says this kind of the same thing, and it kind of ends that. But she's in a bit of a disgruntled place when Barry leaves because she's not happy that this guy's probably going to just get out of the system, quite quickly because he's got a lot of friends in places. But they trace the Force Gun energy, the Sage Force Gun specifically. That's what he calls Commander Cold about, and it tracks. What was the name of the country? Was it Zendaya? Zendia.
Which I'm looking up right now. So when you finish this, I'll drop some.
Which is a safe haven for criminals. They like to vacation there because of the rules, the lax rules, seemingly. So Iris has this insane idea for them to dress up as supervillains because obviously the Flash will be immediately noticed and be like, "Hey, we don't like you." I suppose I'll criticise that they get cut so quickly. I question what the point was. However, Iris having fun with it and Barry being like, "You're enjoying this way too much," was worth it for the joke.
I'll be honest, I think the reveal at the end of what's actually going on explains why they got caught so quickly.
Oh sure, yeah.
Well, no, because even though it was Magpie going, "You're a little bit too familiar," that's I think Pete's talking about.
Well, no, it's not so much that I don't like the explanation as to why they get caught. It's just that. Just narratively, they're caught so quickly. I'm like, was it worth the effort of even doing this part of the plot? But I mean, it's a minor complaint. It's a minor complaint because I had fun with the pages themselves. It's just I was like, it's a bit quick.
So I looked up Zandia, and according to this wiki, it's a small island nation in Europe. I think it's in the Baltic.
Okay.
And it was the original home of the Church of Blood. So. I think this is a new take that Williamson's giving to it, and it kind of reminds me in over at Marvel, Madripoor, which is that island where all things go, and Wolverine puts on a patch and becomes Patch, and that's really awesome.
Yes, we know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patch and matches Malone.
So the Sage Force dude where this Sage energy came from. Is cheating and gambling here, and at the end he actually catches the Flash, and he's like, "Oh wait, you're the Flash? Oh, I'm a big fan." And that's kind of the cliffhanger. Yeah. But we also know that the two that are chasing them, the Oh, what were they called? I forget what their names were now.
The Gemini.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Gemini. They're already there because they got here first, so they're just waiting for the Flash. So yeah.
I do like though that he is creating these new heroes out of the Force. I feel like
I don't know if this dude's going to be a hero. This feels a bit more sketchy. This dude.
I have a question. So all these villains,
anti-hero.
are they actually here? Are any of them here? Because
I think so.
It feels like to me like the way he's talking, like he's creating these manifestations based off of what he's
I don't think
reading
so
in their
because
minds.
he was playing cards against like villains that were there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like a good majority of them, the Flash villains, I don't think are. But
yeah,
I feel like Giganta, Gizmo with his weird goatee he's got now.
Okay. And just question because like that in the very last page where it's all these Flash villains behind them, they seem to be fading out of existence.
Yeah.
But the double page spread before that, there's a lot of Flash villains there.
Yeah.
So and if he's just going, hey, you're the Flash in front of all these villains.
Yeah. That's good.
I mean, he's still got a mask on at least. It's not like he's completely. This is not TV Barry with a hood down, you know.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give him
but I like how layered like Forza is, where she's just kind of like, well, no, I'm my own person. Don't tell me how to be a hero. Like, and I like how they didn't leave like on the best of terms, you know. So, and then I feel like the same is gonna be with the Psyche guy, or Psyche. Although we've all known that Barry's far too trusting. Because look at August.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. I think Barry will have to learn a lesson again here because he's going to be trusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh hey, big, the guy's like, hey, I'm a big fan. Barry will be like, okay, cool, let's do this, let's go, Flash stuff, and then it'll be like, oh, actually, I'm going to betray you now.
Let's go Flash stuff. That sounds like you're going to go and expose yourself to random people on the street.
All right, let's go and do Flash stuff. I'm sorry for not using all the words in a sentence.
Let's go Flash stuff. Not even people, just stuff. I'm going to go Flash a duck.
So, didn't Williamson create the villain Paper Cut? That was his name? Where he could make the paper come to life?
I remember that. Yeah,
I remember that. I don't know if it was Williamson.
He's in that page where they all catch him. He's over standing in front of Grodd. And I think that's supposed to be Savitar. In the back, Bloodworks there. The Trigger Twins. Yeah, there's an awful lot of Flash villains in there.
Which, I mean, there's so many there that it feels like the majority of that double page spread is Flash villains.
Yeah, Dr. Polaris. He can count as a Flash villain, I guess. Roulette.
So, how many people are actually on this street seeing this exchange? I'm a little confused. It doesn't make it that clear.
Yeah, because let me go to the page before, and it looks like there's Livewire, there's Mammoth.
I feel like it'll
be there because I see Simon.
I feel like it's almost redundant, even like guessing, because I'm pretty sure the first couple of pages of the next book are just going to immediately tell us.
Probably.
Yeah. Question for our
audience
fans out there. Yeah, the audience. Who's the lady riding the gorilla? Because I felt that was supposed to be Monsieur Mallah and the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
But she's riding a gorilla, and I needs to know.
Yeah, Matt's in love, basically. He needs to know who this is. So, inform him, would you kindly?
Does anyone know where Iris's mask went on the last page?
Oh, is it missing? Let me...
Yeah, like it's definitely there on the double page spread, and then it's just not there after.
I don't need this anymore. You know, she kind of reminds me of Marionette in some of those pages.
Yeah, I can see it.
So,
just vanishes.
I can't say I've got an explanation for it, but
no, Flash, Speed Force. You don't have to explain shit. Because where did the costumes come from? Did he materialize them out of the Speed Force?
I mean, he ran off and picked them up. She had hers from whatever this mission before with Magpie was, where she robbed a bank with Two-Face.
It was the second National Bank, which I thought was a nice touch.
Obviously, yeah.
No, that's a good point. I mean, I was going to argue maybe she's holding her hands because her hands are up towards her face, but I don't think so.
It doesn't look like it, does it? It looks more like that her hands are in front of her mouth in shock.
Yeah.
It
is a goofy looking page, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no answer for you. It's a mistake. It's an oversight.
It is. It's not a big deal. I was just questioning maybe I'd missed something.
I mean, yeah, his mistake score is pretty low in the list, but
yeah, it's not as important as a missing cross.
Let's rate this book out of 10. Matt, what do you give it?
Not even an 8. It's really solid, but yeah, some of the art stuff wasn't as good for me, but I do enjoy the story.
Connor?
Yeah, I had fun. There was none of the, well, barely any of the other two whose names I'm forgetting that I don't like. Art, while not amazing, was so much better than the last few issues, so it felt like a relief. So I'll go with a 7.5.
I am going to concur with the 7.5. I thought it was a solid Flash issue. Still enjoying the run a lot.